now what you're doing, Mr. Watson,
That's
is
crazy.
you're flirting with.
We're not done here.
The
judge says we're done. We're not done.
Mine's wrong. I didn't even do anything. This is bullshit, man. They just trying to lie to get a conviction. I didn't do anything.
Calling case 24005381, People versus Sean Watson. We here for final appearances, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Natea Scott on behalf of the people, P78816.
Good afternoon.
Renee Cooper for Mr. Watson. Sir, give us your full name.
John Watson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cooper and Mr. Watson. Right, we're here for a continued bond hearing, and my notes reflect that we were last together on December 20th. December 17th, it looks like. And the court ordered on that date that the jail would arrange for Mr. Watson to have a psychological evaluation by January 21st to assist the court in its bond determination. And defense counsel was to apply for IDS, appointment of an independent psychological assessment, by no later than December 20th. Yes, it was mentioned that an independent was requested. So was Mr. Watson evaluated for, did he have a psychological evaluation?
I don't know, Judge. He indicates that he had a doctor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist come and interview him in the jail. If they did not send you a report, I just don't have any control over it.
I don't have a report. Madam Clerk, are you in receipt of a report? Okay, well, officers, do you know, or can you confirm when Mr. Watson was evaluated by whom?
We can find out.
Thank you. We'll go off the record for just a moment.
No, just make it up. Just make it up. Because I don't even know what motions you're talking about. You're complaining. I don't see you. See what else did we have to talk about? Need to. I don't have to.
That's a game of right now.
I like the way you put that.
All right, we're back on the record, and Officer Stoner has attempted to reach NAVCARE to confirm whether Mr. Watson was evaluated and by whom, so that we could follow up on getting our hands on the report. I did indicate that the order for the evaluation was entered on December 17th of last year, but there was also a subsequent order entered on December 20th, and that was to specify that NAVCARE would do the evaluation. So it's 12:25. We can recall this, or we can reschedule, which is the preference of the parties.
What is it that you forgot?
And I would also indicate that my notes reflect that Mr. Watson's sister was anticipated to join us. I don't see anyone on Zoom. Mr. Watson, sir, do you know whether your sister was intending to join us today?
sister, she's at work. She's worked from 7 to 7. She said she said I can come on to her house. She said you able to call her. She says you able to call her whenever you at the hours of 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. He has a new company. She said she would love to come.
One moment, Mr. Watson.
About what?
Mr. Watson, about what time do you think your sister would be
My
taking a
sister said
break?
she worked from
Mr. Watson, I heard that. I need you to listen to my question, okay? About what time do you think your sister would be breaking while she's at work? Because she
She
has to
can't
have a
break.
break.
She can break. She worked 5 days a week. She's through a new company. That's what I'm saying. It's my sister. She said, what is the problem? Because I'm gonna be on teller and y'all gonna know my location. She can't leave she can't leave her facility. She just started this new company. And she said
Okay,
she
you
would
said-
love
Mr. Watson, I'm gonna ask once more. At what time do you think your sister will take a break?
I don't know if she could, she said she
I'm
can't.
still talking. Everyone who works gets a break. That's the law. So we can find out what time she takes a break so that we can get her on the phone or get her on Zoom. Because if the court is not able to speak to her, I may as well just cancel this hearing. There's no way that I'm going to even consider releasing you if I haven't been able to speak to her. And I want to be very certain, I'm not saying that I'm going to release you. But for me to make a determination whether to release you, I need to speak to her.
You can try to call her right now. I don't even know her break, but I'm trying to figure out what is the problem. I'm like, this don't even make no
So,
sense to me.
Mr. Watson, I think what you're saying is because you don't understand why I'm telling you I need something that I shouldn't need it. I
No.
think it would be better for you to stop talking.
Just for informational purposes, Judge, I was able to talk to his sister. And his sister indicates that she's very happy to have him living with her, but that she's not going to be responsible for the bond. She's not putting anything toward the bond, but he's certainly welcome to come and live with her.
Well, I'm happy to know that, but if I were to grant Mr. Watson bond, at the very least, I would be requiring his sister to agree to report any violations of the conditions of his bond. So the bond is going to remain the same until I can speak with Mrs. sister
She doesn't have a bunch
Officer.
of time or something.
about the psychological.
Yes,
That's what I call it right now?
Nurse Long over at. Sorry, first. It
Yes,
said he spoke on the 19th with Dr. Hayes, the psychiatrist.
Dr. Hayes.
Hayes.
And-
And I'll have, if you want a copy of that report, I'll have to get medical records to see if they need it.
I do need a copy. So I'm sorry, what date was that he was evaluated?
It's a January 19th.
How long do you think it would take for us to get a copy of the report?
I think I'll have to solve.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go off the record, and wait for the date. Just one moment.
Judge, before we do that, could I be heard?
Yes.
I and Mr. Watson simply cannot work together. I don't want to go into all of the specifics, but he sees Miss Scott and I talking, and he says, y'all are working something. Today, it's even more than y'all are working something. It's I'm working for her. I can't continue to hear that kind of complaint. And there's so many more complaints. Mr. Watson and I cannot work together. There's a breakdown. We're never gonna be well with each other.
Well, you've been practicing long enough to know whether that's the case, Mr. Cooper. And so, on your word that there's been a breakdown between you and Mr. Watson, I have no choice but to release you and appoint new counsel for Mr. Watson. Mr. Watson, that is very likely going to delay your trial, which is scheduled for March 17th, because your new attorney will need enough time to prepare for your trial. So, and I need to have a trial date in mind as part of my bond consideration. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep the March 17th trial date. Although, Ms. Scott, it won't be a trial date, it will be a pre-trial. So that we can get someone appointed to Mr. Watson, and we really need to have someone appointed before March 17th, though, now that I'm thinking about it. We'll keep the March 17th date as a pre-trial date, but we're going to get Mr. Watson appointed counsel sooner than that. We'll work on that off the record, and we'll contact everyone and let you know when we have someone so that we can bring that person in immediately for
Can I say
a
something? Your Honor?
calendar conference. No, sir. And it's really not in your interest to do so without counsel.
I didn't even, that's crazy, man. Y'all just.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Now now what you're doing, Mr. Watson,
That's
is
crazy.
you're flirting with.
Watson, we're not done here.
Cause
I told the judge that we're done. We're not done.
Mine's wrong. I didn't even do anything. This is bullshit, man. They just trying to lie to get a conviction. I didn't do anything. That's
So-
crazy. I did everything you asked me to do for months. I sat on my hands. I'm in the county jail sick. I didn't do anything. They work together. I asked this
By
man,
the
can he
way,
call my sister on a break?
officers, I have in my notes
Oh, you
that
can take me
Mr.
back. I don't even.
Stop talking, Mr.
I didn't
Watson.
do anything, man. I'm
Okay.
innocent.
Can you take him out so
Yeah.
that we can-
Mr. Watson, we're done.
Thank you.
I did everything you asked me to do, man. We do this. Yeah, that's crazy.